Well, good evening, everybody. I want to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, May 2nd, 2022 to order. Please join me in a silent prayer and meditation. All right, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Carroll.
Here.
Trustee Curtis.
Here.
Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. Something exciting that we haven't done in a while. We have a swearing in of a police officer. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, our newest officer will take the oath of office. The officer is Jeff Cook in the front row there. Jeff's 27 years old and currently lives in Sherwood, but he's in the process of moving closer. Jeff's currently an Air Force National Guardsman and will be starting the Police Training Institute at the University of Illinois in Champaign next Monday, May 9th. With him is his wife, Danielle, and she is here tonight and will be presenting him with his badge. So Jeff and Danielle, if you want to come forward, and Clerk Jesse.
I state your name,
I, Jeffrey Cook,
having been appointed to the office of
having been appointed to the office of
Police Probationary Patrol Officer
Police Probationary Patrol
in the village of North Aurora
in the village of North Aurora
in the county of Kane,
in the county of Kane,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of America
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Police Probationary Patrol Officer
of the office of Police Probationary Patrol Officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Chief.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, congrats and welcome aboard. All right, any audience comments? Consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Carroll,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 1 is an ordinance decreasing the number of Class B liquor licenses to 6. This is for Mama's Kitchen and Concessions. They've decided not to open, and as such, their liquor license is now being removed, so we drop it back to the original number.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Kevin.
Yeah, this is the amendments to Title II that deal with administrative and personnel. Kind of clean up of old obsolete and out of date provisions and streamlining things. One thing I didn't mention at the committee of the whole meeting, which is not included in this, is that the salaries for elected officials has been stuck at what it was through 2017. There was a time when we had put it on a schedule, I believe, of 6 or 7 years going forward. And I just point that out because you cannot change compensation of anyone that's currently in office. So whenever you make a change, that it can only apply to the future. So just something to think about. We didn't address it here, but just something to note going forward. And the other thing is that in regard to kind of the streamlining of the village administrative hierarchy, we're moving the village, unlike most communities around us, has had the police officer under the mayor, and that kind of goes way back. And so we're just kind of moving the police chief into place under the administrator, so it flows mayor, administrator, and in the the other department heads. And again, that kind of is just aligning things the way most communities do it. It doesn't change the mayor, the police chief's authority. It just is kind of a line of communication that's a little more streamlined as opposed to being directly communicative with the mayor. So those are the changes, and we hit the highlights last time in the committee of the whole meeting of what the other things were.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 3, Jason.
All right, so this is the ordinance to approve the 22-23 budget for the village. Within Exhibit A in the attachment, we have high-level summaries of all the various funds showing the various expenditures and revenues, as well as a salary schedule for each position and the authorized position count. Since our last committee, the whole meeting, there were 3 changes that have been worked into this final budget. The first one was from comments last time, $10,000 in a community initiative, so charity, however the village sees fit in the future. We just put money there in a contingency line. $60,000 in sanitary sewer fund for some Ridge Road sewer lining that had come up, and then $10,000 in the vehicle and equipment for some IT hardware, police department file server. So these items have been added along with the other changes we went over last time.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis? Trustee Gately?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 4, Jason.
So here's a resolution to update the village's investment policy. Really quickly, some highlights on Section 8. All we really did here was just add reference to the Public Funds Investment Act, and then maybe updated some of the descriptions in there just to kind of line them up with what's allowed by statute. We didn't change, get rid of, or add anything that we can invest in. We just kind of updated some of the descriptions and added a reference to the statute. Section 10, safekeeping and custody. This is really the main change that we're looking to do. Currently, our investment policy says that we have a broker, and then we have to have a separate third-party custodian hold it. So currently we have Fifth Third Bank, and then US Bank holds the security. So whenever we want to buy something, Fifth Third lets us know what's available. Then we take the order from Fifth Third, go to US Bank, so we want to buy it. So it's like kind of a two-step process. So all we're looking to do is we're still going to have a third-party custodian as part of our Fifth Third agreement. They have a company called National Financial Services. So they are still a third-party custodian, but they work with Fifth Third Bank. So Fifth Third can actually see what investments we have. Anything we buy is still kept within the village's name in a separate account. So it's not, Fifth Third controlling everything. So all we're doing is changing the language so that we can kind of keep this this arrangement between the two. Item 11, diversification. So currently the statute allows us to invest in corporate bonds up to 30, as long as it's not 33% of our total portfolio, as long as they meet certain requirements, being they have to be rated 3 of the highest classifications, and it cannot be 10%. You can't buy more than 10% of that corporation's outstanding bonds. Currently, our investment policy says we can only invest 10% of the village's funds in corporate bonds, but obviously the statute allows us to go up to 33. So we're just asking to bump that to 25%. And really, it's not saying we're going to go up to 25%. It's just giving us more of that flexibility. So as things come due, we're not kind of stuck. We can't buy more corporates, even though the rates might be better. So we just want some flexibility for whenever things come due, to see what kind of the best rates are out there, whether it's a CD, a corporate bond, a municipal bond. And then item 18 is just really a cleanup. A couple of years ago, there was the Illinois Sustainable Investing Act, basically saying that anytime we're investing public funds, we need to implement sustainable investment policies applicable to the management of all public fund. So some of the items they say to look at: corporate governance and leadership, environmental, social capital, human capital, business model innovation. So it's not saying that we have to invest in companies or investments that take these things. It's just saying keep those under consideration when we're looking to invest money. So we'll communicate that to obviously most of the Illinois. Now this is within a statute within Illinois, so all the investment managers know that we're going to be considering these types of things when investing in new companies. And so we're just kind of putting that, making sure it's stated within our investment policy. And so those are the changes that we're proposing with this resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I would like to ask you, David, or Jason, sorry. The second item, or the item about the third-party payer, did the bank choose to contract with this other agency, or did we initiate that?
No, so back from what I can tell, going back and looking at the paperwork in 2008, when the village signed up with Fifth Third Bank, part of that agreement was also an agreement with this National Financial Securities. We just never used them. So it's always kind of been there, but we've always kept this relationship with US Bank, Fifth Third Bank. Fifth Third Bank, unless we provide them a statement, they really don't know what we have. So if something comes due or matures on the US Bank side, we have to kind of tell that. So it's just back and forth. So we're just looking to kind of streamline that so Fifth Third can kind of work a little better with us and line things up when various investments come due.
So the purpose of the contract is the financial contract is
really just to help so ever since I've started, I've been trying to reach out to US Bank just to have somebody reply to an email. Honestly, I've gotten nothing. So if we're going to start investing money, I got to be able to get a hold of somebody. So there's this other opportunity was there in talking to the Fifth Third people that this account's always been open. It's still a third-party account. We just want to make sure that the investment policy kind of matches the way we're going to be doing business. So
thank you.
There's no additional paperwork we need to fill out. This account's open. It's been open since 2008. We just don't use it.
Anyone else?
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 5, John.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 5 is the approval of a resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute the purchase of a vehicle for the Public Works Department exceeding the spending authority of the village administrator and outside the normal procurement requirements outlined in the village's purchasing policy. Basically, that's a summary of saying that we're having a really hard time ordering vehicles these days. And the Ford Explorer that we ordered last May of 2021, still hasn't arrived. We've contacted the dealership and our procurement company that we've been working with. Initially, they told us when we ordered it in June of 2021, it'd be here in August. They kept pushing that deadline back. And the last time we spoke with them, they weren't able to give us any time frame of when the vehicle might actually arrive. What we're proposing is to start looking for vehicles in the area, either from dealerships or secondhand, and maybe alternate vehicles besides just a Ford Explorer, maybe a GMC or a Chevy product, and just kind of compare and look for prices that way. So this item's asking that the village administrator has the authority to enter in a contract or sign an agreement with a dealership to purchase that vehicle.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
So are we going to cancel the original contract if we find something?
So we talked about that, and we're thinking that we're gonna leave it open until we actually get the vehicle from either a dealership or something else before we cancel that agreement, because there is an outside chance it might show up tomorrow, but it's very unlikely. So we're just kind of playing both sides of the fence right now.
Is there any penalty to cancel?
There's no, we haven't put any money towards the agreement or anything like that. And from what I understand, the street superintendent's conversations with the dealership would be that they would release us from that contract that we have with them. So.
One more thing to add quickly is when you go through a procurement process, like a state process or a joint purchasing cooperative, sometimes the cars that they actually go through that process are limited in model. So Explorer, for instance, might be only one SUV they looked at, but there's dozens of SUVs out there. So I think the other thing is, even though you have a dollar amount, 39,000, John's thinking 40 to 45, we can probably get one quick. There might be another model that's cheaper than the Ford Explorer that we find that does just what we need. So it may not even be more expensive. We don't know yet. It could be, it's for the engineers. So it might be, who knows, it could be a pickup truck.
Trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis,
Yes.
trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 6. John?
Thank you, Mayor. This item is the approval to waive competitive bid process and pre-authorize the purchase of a replacement automatic transfer switch at the East Treatment Plant with Frank Marshall in the amount of $37,432. Basically, what this does, the automatic transfer switch switches power from the grid to the backup generator at our treatment plants, and right now that has to be performed manually. We do have a procedure in place that our water division laborers have written and are following, but it's a cumbersome process. It takes 2 guys, and they're working around high voltage electricity. So it's one of those things we'd rather get this device installed so that they can have that switch automatically without having any intervention from people. So we went out and we approached, the reason we're asking to waive the competitive bidding process is because we went out and got quotes instead of getting bids. And the reason we chose to do that is because it's a very complex thing to write specifications and develop plans for electrical stuff. And we felt that we could save time in the schedule and money that we would otherwise be spending on consulting engineers developing these plans by just asking the companies who do this work to come out, look at it, tell us what they think their best solution is, and then offer us a price and go from there. So the 3 companies we had out, Illinois Power, Frank Marshall Electric, and Altifer Cat. Illinois Power said the problem was a little bit too complex for them. They weren't even used to handling something like that. So we ended up getting, they didn't respond with a quote for us. We did get a quote from Altifer Cat, and it came in at $72,000, and the low quote was from Frank Marshall and $37,000. Both providers were quoting 16 to 18 weeks before we'd even get the part to get it in. So we are kind of trying to move as quickly as we can on this. But in the end, basically, we're asking for permission to waive that competitive bid process and simply choose the lowest quote.
Motion to approve.
Discussion?
Do you have any sense of why one is half the cost of the other one?
Yeah, good question.
Different suppliers. I guess whoever the electricians all go to different suppliers, and depending on which supplier. So for instance, the reason it was the 72,000 was what it was is that particular company reached out to 3 different suppliers, and he got 3 different numbers, and he took the one that was in the middle. He didn't want to give us the highest quote, but he
Mhm.
didn't trust the lowest one, so that's where he landed. So.
Seems
I think
odd that they'd
the,
be so far apart.
mhm.
Is
The
the
other
quality
thing-
of,
Sorry, I was gonna say the other thing too is the company, the low company, Frank Marshall, actually did the electric on a couple of our wells already, so they actually know our system pretty well too.
Well, that's important as well.
yeah, is there a quality difference between the two parts, you think?
I don't think so, because I think it's I think it's essentially the same contraption. It's just a lot more of it's the labor going into putting that piece into the machine.
Has it always been people doing this manually or is this something relatively new?
No, it's always been the automatic transfer switch until recently when it's failed. So
Oh,
now,
okay.
now we're getting the new one
Okay.
installed.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately.
Yes.
All right, item 7, chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Staff is requesting approval of purchase of police body worn cameras and squad cameras from Axon Enterprises Incorporated over the next 5 years in the amount not to exceed $264,846. Last week or 2 weeks ago at the COW meeting, a presentation was given regarding pilot tests, a pilot program that was done on 3 different body camera companies. And based on favorable pilot testing results, and after presenting the results to the village board at the committee of the whole meeting, staff is requesting the purchase of body worn cameras and the squad cameras over the next 5 years to Axon. Again, not to exceed the $264,846 dollar limit.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Chief, just out of curiosity, are the officers in our department, are they in favor of body cameras?
Yeah, we haven't, I've not heard one officer say that they're not that they would have a choice ultimately, but no, every single one of them is highly in favorable of them.
Okay.
I want to compliment you guys, your team there that researched it all, because it was quite a hefty ask, and I think Deputy Chief Wozecki had, really explained. I mean, this seemed like this company had a lot of good things.
Yeah, they did. And once we started digging into it, I didn't realize how intense it was going to be and how much information there was
Yeah.
out on them.
I mean, it's cool how 30 feet away it kicks on another one and all the different angles of things you'll get.
Yeah,
Which will
and,
be,
and I would imagine even before the 5-year contract is up, there'll probably be even more advancements
Yeah.
with newer model
Yeah,
cameras too.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt it was, like, for me, I felt it was very clear,
Yeah, yeah,
the choices and what the options were.
yeah. Nice job. Roll, please.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, that concludes our new business. Village President report. I have nothing. Trustee comments? Administrator report?
I could just do a quick update on the beautification committee meeting that we had recently and point out that one of the new things we're trying to do is do a kind of a pride and ownership program. That's the last community I worked in called it. But basically the committee would go around and honor people for decorating the front of their house for, let's say, they really wanted to hone in on flowers. Flowers, they called it curbside appeal. So houses that do a nice job planting flowers in front of their house, go around, judge them, give them an award for taking ownership and pride in their home. Possibly also for commercial properties as well, not just residential. And then there was even some talk about doing the same thing for holiday decorations for different holidays and things like that. So just thought that was kind of a community pride type thing. So thought I'd throw that out there, just let you know they're working on that.
I like it.
Thank you.
Anything else, Steve?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Village Department reports? Anybody? Motion adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll be meeting shortly for committee of the whole.